So this morning's text that we have from our Pray As You Go app, we were sitting again in the book of Job, and here Job is crying out. This is Job 19, verses 21 through 27a. Job says, have pity on me, O you, my friends, for the hand of God has touched me. Why do you, like God, pursue me, never satisfied with my flesh? Oh, that my words were written down. Oh, that they were inscribed in a book. Oh, that with an iron pen and with lead they were engraved on a rock forever. For I know that my Redeemer lives, and that at the last he will stand upon the earth. And after my skin has been thus destroyed, then in my flesh I shall see God, whom I shall see on my side, and my eyes shall behold, and not another. I thought it was helpful this morning for us to sit with a text like this, where Job is crying out in the middle of unspeakable agony, unspeakable suffering, and he is experiencing not just the loss of uh, life, loss of wealth in his own life, but he's being attacked by family. He's what little family he has left, and he's being attacked by his friends who come, quote unquote, to comfort him during his time of suffering. And then in the middle of that, I loved the app had this sort of phrase that he speaks out words of firm hope while suffering, and he speaks these words of hope, and these words of hope are shaped by, they are enabled by his Redeemer who lives, and he trusts in God's goodness in the middle of a circumstance that would seem to communicate the opposite. And so I think for me it was a good reminder as this week I've just been off, just not in the best of moods this week, and dealing with all the things that everyone is dealing with. Nothing new or out of the ordinary, but just as certain circumstances pop up that are more challenging than others, and I find myself just getting thrust into this spiral of frustration and short-temperedness, and reminded that a lot of my moods can be sort of shaped by circumstance, and that whether it's the pandemic, whether it's politics, whether it's doing school from our living room, all these things are circumstantial, right? And yet I want to take note from Job this morning, who cries out these sort of words of firm hope in the middle of incredible challenge. It reminds me of Philippians 4:13, right, where Paul declares he can do all things through Christ who strengthens him, and he's writing that from prison. He's not saying I can do whatever I want to do through Christ's strength. He's saying I could be poor, I could be rich, I could be imprisoned, I could be free. It doesn't matter. I can live out all these things through Christ's power that strengthens me, because his power transcends and breaks through circumstance. And I was reminded of book of Hebrews 10, that declares, "Let's hold on to the confession of our hope without wavering, because the one who made the promises is reliable." And that another translation has, "Let us hold fast to the confession of our hope without wavering, for he who has promised is faithful." So this morning, as we wake up again in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, as we wake up again in the middle of an incredibly caustic and broken political system, as we wake up, facing whatever challenges you might face this morning, may you speak words of firm hope, acknowledging that the firm hope that we have doesn't come from our ability, it doesn't come from our faithfulness, but as the writer in Hebrews reminds us, that faithfulness of God is what empowers our hope. And it is God's faithfulness that enables our hope that can be remain firm in the middle of challenging circumstances and incredible suffering. So may your hope be strong today, because God's faithfulness is true, and it is right, and it is good, and it is eternal. Amen.